It is him. It is your warrior junior that somehow still it lives. He lives. What's going on with my camera here? Why are you not behaving? Who knows, right? Who cares, really? It is I. It is I, the warrior junior, the one who, you know, wow. Boy, the older I get, the more profound my wisdom becomes. It's a very interesting thing. Before I get into the topic of the narrative, I just want to know. I noticed, like, God, I was coming home from the gym. And it's like a truck. I don't know, like it was on a residential street, and this chick got out. Now it's cold. It's cold right now in Los Angeles, but the cold does not affect me because you know what I am. Like I don't get cold. It doesn't apply to me. It applies to all the humanoids out there. But when you have the power of mind power, none of this shit really applies to you. Like it doesn't, dude. I'm built for suffering. I'm not. Most of these people are pansies. They can't, go to the gym. They gotta, they cry. It's cold outside. Who's that old guy? Who's the old guy? Tony Bennett. Baby, it's cooked. Hold on, turn back on the light. Turn off the who is that guy? Tony Bennett. He goes, it's cold outside. Oh, it's cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside. I could do it too. I could do it too. I'm not impressed by none of these people. I'm very sorry. It was a gift. The Lady Gaga, did a favor for him. It's like, oh, have this old guy with singing with Lady Gaga. It's like I don't get it. I don't get it. Chai spice tea with a little of that secret ingredient. You gotta, um, you gotta keep it going somehow. Jeez. And I made it good and hot this time. Mm, that's great. Now I did buy. Feels like it's colder in my apartment than it is outside because I don't have heating, and that's done by that's by my own choice. I do have gas, what I use to boil, to cook and stuff, but I don't have it attached to the heater, which is directly on the other side of this laptop. And the reason is because a couple of different reasons why I don't decorate this place and why I don't do things. Because when you start doing that, when you start getting comfortable, then that's as far as you're going to go. You're admitting that you can do no better. Now, as I mentioned, I live in a government, the poor people's housing. I'm not proud of it. And, you know, my friends in Yiddish, they say, Haken your chinik. They say, well, why don't you get a nice bed? Why don't you get a sofa? Why don't you get a TV? And I do have a TV. It's not plugged in by design. I don't need it. I don't care. I got the internet, and this, and I follow what's going on. I just don't need it. And it just keeps me from being too comfortable. I need that reminder constantly during the day, every day. I did go to CVS today and get a space heater, um, which, eh, it's right here. And so if it gets a little too unbearable, then I'll turn it on for a little bit. But besides that, it's like, I like the challenge. I like to feel like a warrior, and a warrior is a borderline a little nuts, like pushing themselves, going to the gym when it's cold outside, whatever. And I like different. I like being different. Now, I know it might sound a little in back of my mind. I'm thinking, wow, there must be incredible rewards for being different. Let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you what probably nobody else will. There's no guarantees, man. And I'm telling you, I mean, you could go through some serious suffering, dude, over a long, long time, and there's no guarantees. You hear about these people that made it in acting, they made it in entertainment. Yeah, you hear about like a handful of people, that persevered. What about all the people persevered and they didn't make it? You don't hear their stories because they didn't make it. Now, you know, it's just, everybody has their story. And I said this before, I'll say it again. Only you know what you've gone through. Some people that have made incredible success, their stories have been told and this and that. That's great. But only you know what you've really gone through. Depends what you call success. I've already talked about, I'm not going to keep rehashing what I consider it because I've talked about this time and time and time and time again. I like to talk about new shit. I like to keep things fresh. I like to keep things open, and tell what I really think and what I feel about things. So, so the holiday times, for some people, they really don't like. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. And that's why I said what I said. And that's what the topic, why I put that, is because I really think that it's all BS. I really do. I'm Jewish. I'm not a real practicing Jew, but I think Hanukkah is bullshit too. I'm sorry. I felt like all this shit was forced on me when I was a kid. And now that I'm, older, I really never liked it. I don't like going to a synagogue. I didn't ever like that. I couldn't wait to get out of there. This, these rabbis and this nonsense, I mean, it's like believing in this stuff that's, I mean, it sounds ridiculous to me. It sounds ridiculous. I'm very sorry. A lot of stuff is just shrouded in common sense, uh, the, you know, the Ten Commandments. I mean, yeah, this is just common sense stuff that, you know, it's just that, when you hear the stories, and then the Moses chose us, those, I mean, all this stuff, and, yeah, the movies, but, man, I just got my own views on a lot of this shit, I mean, I mean, many people say, the Bible is a big book of delusional fiction. I mean, and these people that believe in this stuff, Jesus, I mean, it's a nonsense. It's a nonsense. I'm sorry, like I didn't say he didn't exist, but a lot of it is nonsense. There's nothing. It's just based on because people don't believe in themselves. They got to believe in some fake nonsense. Like the things that whatever. And you know, I believe what happened was, and they say, oh, God created everything and this and that, and oh man, more than likely what happened, more than likely, was it 66 million years ago, the meteor that crashed into the Earth, killed all the dinosaurs, and they said that's when, a couple million years later, that's when human life began to develop, from the mammals that were, when the earth was, kind of resurrected, after the fall of the dinosaurs. And more than likely, that's what happened. Whatever was on that asteroid or meteor, sparked, life for humanity to begin and to evolve. So more than likely, it was an accident. And sorry, my finger kind of hurts, from, I think I burnt it earlier. So, that's more than likely, it's, the truth is more than likely not as mysterious as what a lot of people make it out to be. It's like every year it's these same holidays and these fucking holidays, and I'm sorry, I feel like there should be like, you know, then there's Veterans Day, and there's July the 4th, and then there's Memorial Day. I'm sorry, like they need to combine some of these holidays into one day, of respect, because I'm sorry, like Veterans Day and Memorial Day. I don't understand why it can't be the same day. Why does it have to be, whoa, we can they give this day out of this day? Well, I'm very sorry, it should be anybody that, military respect day, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, it should be both combined. That's just one thing. Now, the July the 4th, I understand because that's the day that the nation was founded, the Declaration of Independence. We declared our independence. So, but I have a better opinion on this. It was in 1776. So instead of having it every year on July the 4th, they should have just had a big thing. They did 1976, 200 years. And then that's really about it. That's make it a bigger deal, for the anniversary date, and just have like you don't have to have it every year. It's not a big deal. Maybe every 50 years or something. Like they could mention it, but it doesn't have to be a national holiday like where everything is closed. Now you gotta go with me. Now I'm saying to respect these days, but keep everything open because you gotta understand that people need money. They need to work, to support. And if you have shit closed, you're taking away people's money, and it's incredibly important to survive. I mean, all due respect to holidays, if I had a choice between survival and holidays, I say fuck the holidays because my survival comes first. And that's the problem in this life is like it's so regimented, like a totalitarian existence where no, we were going to make a day for this, and then was it some day they just created now that now one other day is going to be another holiday, out of nowhere they created some nonsense. Should May the 4th be a holiday because it's Star Wars Day? Should it be a national holiday too? I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'm just sorry, like the way that I think, it's like, why aren't the post offices open on Sunday? Well, they need a day off. Well, no, they don't. There should be people that want to work. It should be optional. It should be optional. If you want to work on Sunday, that's extra money for you. Like the government acts like they're broke. Like you go to a post office, there's always like it's not, you got to wait in line. Why do you have to wait in line? Because there's not enough people working at the front desk. Why? They don't want to hire. That's why. So basically, they have the money. Government has, but they're being like they're not hiring. Like for things. So they make it. They make life a lot harder than it is. I'm serious. Like you think I'm nuts, but I mean the post office should be open 24 hours. Not in that way. So you can go in the post office 3 in the morning. You want to send out a package. There should be somebody there. Or why not? Like, what is this limited totalitarian, imperialistic, generic, robotic lifestyle? I just don't get it. I don't understand. Well, people need to sleep. I agree, but there's also people that would love to work at those times. Do you understand? Like, you know, they say, well, what was it? Abraham Lincoln said, good things can come to those who wait, but whatever is left over after people that have hustled. That I guarantee you, there's like people that would love to work like at all night at a job like that, and saying, whoa, I can make good money doing it at this time. But no, society, our American way of thinking is 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Limited hours on Saturday and closed on Sunday. Why? Like, who designed this to think this way? Like, you go to Las Vegas, it's 24 hours. Okay, there's a lot of shit closed that's not open during the day, but I mean, do you get my idea that like everything, you know, everything should be circulating, because then you would give people an opportunity that they could do work like after hours. They could do their business after hours. Well, oh, they could get, banks, they could get robbed and stuff. Hey, what's the difference? Like you go in a bank, if they have bright lights and stuff, what's the difference? Like I disagree with the way things are functioned. I think it's built on paranoia, a lot of it. I just think it's bullshit. I think you need to create more opportunities through ideas like that I'm suggesting. And believe me, like society needs to function more on a 24-hour schedule, so that way people don't have to fucking rush around through traffic, through all this crap, and through all this shit. I like to be up late at night. I like to be up sometimes in the morning. Well, then society should function 24/7, 365. And I'm sorry, like holidays, okay, fine. You want to have all these holidays? Well, then keep everything open anyway, then, like, because people need to fucking, you need to have markets open 24 hours. You need to have everything function 24/7. I mean, it's just not right, in my opinion. God, why can't you have a gym open 20, like the 24-hour fitness, the one in West Hollywood, it went out of business. It's gone. It was not open 24 hours. It wasn't open 24 hours because the gays couldn't behave in there, in the bathrooms, in the showers. So they closed it around 11 or midnight. Dude, I used to go to a gym. It was Beverly Hills Health and Fitness. It was open 24 hours. I'd go in there sometimes 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I was awake. So, I would lift, and it was cool. It's gone. They went out of business, and now it's like a restaurant or something. But my point is, like, I lived kind of an abnormal lifestyle, but in my mind, that's normal. The only dumb, those like norms or whatever is only 24 hours or something. But garbage, greasy food, garbage place. Like, I'm just sorry. Like I'm, you know, I do not concur. I do not agree. And the problem with Las Vegas, it's like, I was born in LA, and this sort of, well, people move, I know, all the time, but, you know, without an opportunity or something, you're basically going to a place without any hope, and you know, what really bothers me is that, this is gonna be hard for me to explain, and I'm not trying to be a curmudgeon. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or I'm not trying to, what do you call it, naysayer. I'm not trying to kill your dreams. I'm not, but you gotta. I'm gonna be honest with you, and let me tell you, man, you might have some real big dreams, and I'm talking some real big dreams. I know, I have them too. I have them too, and I know I listen to guys like Steve Harvey, Les Brown, Wayne Dyer, some people, and these people, but these people made it. Arnold, I've listened to all these people talk. Grant Cardone, Brian Tracy. I've heard them all. I've heard them all. Proctor, Bob Proctor, whatever the fucking guys. Earl Nightingale. I've heard them all, man. And Jay DeMarco. I've heard them all. All. Ty Lopez. And all these guys, Anthony Robbins, all these guys have one thing in common. And that one thing in common is they're not going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. And all of them are not going to tell you the truth in the reality. And the reality is you're not going to make it. It's not going to happen. It's not. In quotes, now in parentheses, for the most part. It's not going to happen, ... in parentheses, for the most part. Because it just doesn't, for the most part, doesn't happen. There's a handful, literally a handful of people that we're talking about here. And then, they're just trying to sell you a pipe dream and give you hope. It's called glorified cheerleading, is what it is. It's called having good bedside manner, is what it is. And it's very, very easy for somebody that has made it to write a book, give you hope, tell you, get on the internet and tell you that, yeah, you could become. But the reality is it's not going to happen. Nobody, and again, I'm not saying this to be a naysayer. I'm not saying this to be a Debbie Downer or a curmudgeon. I'm just telling you the reality. Okay? It's not designed for you to hit. Okay? It's like you could sit at a slot machine with endless funds and play till you die, till the end. And you're not going to hit the jackpot. And the reason is because a couple of reasons. The machines are rigged. It will pay. It will pay for somebody because, like, let's say the Megabucks machine. I don't gamble anymore, but let me try to digress, so it doesn't make me so I can use logic to back up my point instead of me just sounding like a curmudgeon or a naysayer. Now, there's like, let's say how many slot machines are in all Vegas, the Megabucks, they're all interlinked, and that it keeps going. You got to put in $3, 3 coins, as far as I know, unless they change this over time. It wouldn't be surprised if they did. To get you need those 3 eagles, whatever, to get the Megabucks, 50 million, 35 million, whatever. And every once in a while, somebody does hit it. Whatever. They pay it out to one person. Machines, how long, same thing. All the people that are playing, the tens of thousands, millions, whatever, they all have the dream. They want to hit that the big one, right? It's the same fucking thing. It's the exact same philosophy out of that many. Hit something really substantial like that. So all these people have this dream, like everybody has a fucking dream, and they're not. It's not going to happen for them, and that's the reality. You're not going to make it. You're not gonna. You're not going to hit that megabucks. Somebody will. One person will. Out of all the people trying, there's no fucking way. Like if you've got these gigantic dreams, it's just not going to happen. I mean, this is the reality. And I know what you're thinking. Who are you to tell me I can't be? I said gigantic dreams, gigantic. Now it depends what you're. I don't know you. I don't know what you're thinking. Like what you think is big. Or maybe you don't have any gigantic dreams. Maybe your idea of success is okay. Let's bring it down to as low as I can. Working at like the Walmart or post office for 25 years and collecting your retirement when you're 65. That's not a big dream. That's not what I consider a big dream because it's like that's a given. If you show up for 25 years and do your job at 65 or 35 years, depending on how old you are, 45, who knows, and then you get the retirement. That's not what I'm talking about here. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like pie in the sky dream. Like I want to be fucking, a major league baseball player. I want to be a famous singer. I want to be a famous actor. That's what I'm talking about. That's not going to happen. Famous songwriter or something, big, something that there's only like a handful, famous composer or something. There's a handful of those people, you know? That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to start a business that's going to make like, 10 in excess of $10 million a year. No, okay, no, that's like also borderline that, or even whatever, because how many businesses fail anyway? Most. So I want you to understand that the difference between you know grinding something out for decades to get retirement or nothing, and a pie in the sky dreams. And I'm not saying because I'm not basing this on my own failures. Believe me, I'm basing this on research. It's research, and it doesn't sound good. Like when you tell people that, you're like you're destroying people's spirit. Hey, you know, if you know something that most people don't, and you let the cat out of the bag, they're going to be mad at you, like for telling them, why are you doing in this? Because it's the truth. You shouldn't tell people they can't become. Well, but this is the reality though. And what happens is when you tell people the truth, for the most part, you look like the bad guy now. You know, but it's better to be informed. You know. Now, did I say don't chase? Go ahead, chase a dream. But how long? For how long? How long? What kind of dream is it? Is it like American Idol? Like when you got all these people? I didn't call them idiots. I said people. Thousands of people. It looks like they all stand in line. They all think they can sing on national television. How many people stand in each city? How many cities they go to? How many people out there? How many of those kids? How many of them do they? Okay, let's say 3,000 people. Maybe I'm way off, but I think I'm about right. A couple thousand at least. It looks, because a lot of people looks like a lot, But when you really, but in a line, like, believe me, I've counted 750 people in one very, very long line at my old university. And it was a very long line. So you'd be surprised how much was like 3,000 people in a line. But it could be maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But let's just say 3,000. Okay. How many cities they go to the audition? L.A., Chicago, New York, maybe Miami, or whatever. Out of 3,000, we agree. How many people do they show getting to audition in front of the three judges? Paula, Simon Cowell, and whoever, the black guy. You know who that fucking guy is anyway. The three. Right? It's airtime. How much time? It was an hour episode. Maybe they have a 2-hour premiere or something like that. What do they show? 20 people? Maybe 30. Can't be much more than that. 40? Maybe? 50? I'll go real. I can't be 50. There's just not enough fucking time. But I will say 25. Now, I don't know how many cities we mentioned. So I said LA, Chicago, New York, and I said I threw in Miami, 4. 4 times 3,000 is 12,000. And what I say, 50 episode. There's no way I'm 50. It's a 25 on each episode. How many of those make it up to the stage? To go to Hollywood, 25 or 20? I don't know. Not many. I've seen it before. Started with, what did I say? 12,000. 12,000 people. Episode 35 people, whatever. 50, auditioning, and then maybe they do for a couple weeks, they show. Like 20 people, whatever. If that, right? I don't know. It can't be that many. So what's your point? You need to understand that is the point. That is the point. That is the point. And it applies to everything. It applies to everything. It applies to everything. You got 12,000 people trying to become this. Forget the show. I'm talking about like now in reality. That's why you're not going to make it. Because you don't see it, from the reality of the way it works in society. And you don't realize it really from the show. Most people can't put 2 and 2 together because you're watching the show to be entertained. But whatever endeavor, if there's money to be made or any type of status, there's a shitload of people just like you. And you might think you're good, and it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And the problem is that you've been brainwashed to believe that you're special. When you're a kid, you get so much positive reinforcement. You're so beautiful. You got so much talent. These are your friends, your family, giving you positive uh, encouragement. Were they not supposed to? It doesn't matter. What happens, it goes to your head. It infects your thinking. And you don't understand. Like, it's not whatever you think. You think you got this incredible ability, and it's not a big deal at all. It's not. Because there's 12,000 other people in line like you. You might not see them around you, but they're there. And I'll tell you where they are. They're everywhere. In the real world, I applied. I hold a master's degree. Actually, I hold above a master's, but I'm just talking about my master's. How many teaching jobs I've applied for? Never got a call back before you know. Because you ain't the fucking only one applying, fucko. Because a master's degree is not that big of a deal anymore, man. It used to be. Hold on a second. Gotta turn on the heat here. Oh, sorry. $30 well spent. The Duraflame. You're not the only one. Now, again, this is real honesty here. This is not me being a curmudgeon or a naysayer. This is me telling the truth. How many colleges are there out there? Universities. How many people graduate every year with bachelor degrees, master's degrees, doctorate degrees? Now, doctorate degrees, okay, not that many. It's not that big of a deal, my friend. They make it out to be a big deal because that's how the schools make money. Why wouldn't they? If it wasn't a big deal, then nobody would try to get it. But is it that big of a deal? Now I'm working on my doctorate now. Let's take it back a notch. I have a master's degree. How is it that big of a deal if all the applications I put in and nobody would hire me? Period. Because you're not the only one trying. Now, 12,000, I know that number, but you got to be able to understand the gist of things. You have to. You have to. You have to. And the reason you have to is that you've been lied to, knowingly, unknowingly, by people that like you. They're trying to build up your hopes when you're young. And then what happens is when the age starts kicking in and the rejections start coming, then the reality starts sinking in. And the problem is don't give up, don't give up. I've heard that. Hey, that's irregardless. I'm just talking about facts here. That many people try to sell you this dream. This dream that you could be whatever you want to be and you could do whatever you want to do, and that's not true. You see, like, they show you somebody, and I could be like her. You can't be. You can't be. You can't be. Because those people hit the mega bucks. They're the ones that hit it. A singer, I don't. There's a million. It's not. It's nothing. An actress, whatever. They hit it. A model, whatever, famous model. They hit them. They're the one. They're the one. There's so many. There's not so many. There's not so many. Of the top of the top. There's not so many. And it's not going to be you. It's not going to be you. Man, I can even take it down a notch to being a writer, a famous writer. It doesn't matter. Same thing. They hit it. The people, the big ones. And it's like they get this incredible spotlight. You know, let me turn up the heat a little bit here. It's like I've heard this before. It's like the spotlight shines for them. Like, and they get like more offers. Like the money goes to the money. Like they just sit around and they can just pass on the deal. Oh, I don't like it, dude. And they're already rich anyway. Everybody else is like starving for a crumb. And you know whose fault all of this is? The imbalance. I can't see, I can't get my hand, the inequality of everything. Do you know whose fault that is? It's yours. Not yours personally, but it's everybody's. It's the majority of everybody's fault for making those people like that. And it goes so far deep like that. I don't even. It's just pointless to talk about why things are so expensive, why the rents are so high. Because if you really think about it, it's all your fault. You created all of this, the people. You created this demand, this nonsense. Making these people rich. The people make this. They contribute to this. So it's like really all your fault. It is. So that's just my take on it. That's my 2 cents of like this life. Like you got like a handful of people that have everything, and then you got like more than that have a real like good life. Then you go down the list, you got people that are very secure. You go down there, it's like people that are surviving well. And then you go down, there's even more that are surviving, and then you go down lower, there's a shitload that barely are surviving. And you go down further, and then there's people that wish they could, barely hanging on. And then down at the bottom, there's people that have nothing on the street. So it all makes perfect sense. I mean, this is all logical. The way that it works, why it works this way. It's not magic. It's not you know by accident. It all makes perfect sense. It's not like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but it's you know the pyramid shape of at the top, the handful that have everything. And that's all your fault. It's all your fault for putting those people up there. You know. Now, what do I suggest? It doesn't matter because it's so ridiculous that what's happening, it just gives you no opportunity, like to advance really. And it's like I remember I saw this ad, they keep talking. Ooh, they showed all these people working at Amazon, and this guy on his bullhorn comes out with this bullhorn, stands on a milk crate, and he goes, "Attention, attention, all it's just everybody's gonna get $15 an hour." Woo-hoo! They're all like, look like they couldn't believe like, and then they brag. They're not done. They're bragging. Oh, that's just the beginning. We're gonna give like a couple days off. The pay leave. I said shore leave. Yeah, it feels like you're on a boat. It's fucking slave job crap. The college pay, whatever. They don't tell you how much, of course, in the thing because, you know, I guarantee you, it's not a you. They ain't giving you fucking. Believe me, it ain't that much. They ain't giving you any shares of Amazon. Were they $3,000 a share? Oh no, God forbid, they wouldn't give employees any shares. Of course not, because it's real money. $3,000 a share. You can't give that away. So, I'm sorry. Like I got my own views on this. Like $15 an hour. I don't think I have enough hours left in my lifetime at $15 to make anything substantial. There's just not enough hours. Even in that, and that would be working to 3 in the morning and 5 in the morning. Uh, you know, there's ain't enough time. I don't have enough lifetime left. So, do you see why this whole thing is not engineered properly? You can't make it. Because it's not designed for you to make it. It's designed for the people at the top to make it. That's it. And you can't get to the top because the chasm is too wide. You know what you're gonna start? Okay, you're gonna make $15 here. I'll start from the beginning here. You're gonna be like, I'm trying to get all the way to the corner. See, like, I'm in the corner. Look at my finger, right? You're gonna start at $15 an hour, and then like after like 3 years or so, maybe in like a couple years, you're gonna be around like here. You're gonna make like maybe a little bit more as a assistant manager or something like that after years, right? And then like maybe another couple of years later, and now it's like 7 years in, you got like a manager position where you're making maybe $19 an hour, 20, I don't know, but you're a manager. Woo! Now, so maybe like after 15 years in, I don't know, maybe you're making like 50 grand a year there. So I don't know, 15 years in, 15 years, right? And then after like maybe 20 years now, you're like you get a shot at like being some executive position for like 80 grand. Look, do you see my point? That 20 years, like that's an immense amount of time. No matter if you're 20 years old doing it or if you're fucking 60, you might more than likely you won't be alive after that. So, you now that's pretty accurate. I mean, that's what. Now the guy that created it's a different story. The Bezos, whatever, because he created the fucking company. In '94. That's where you needed to be. Like if you were there in '94 and said, and he put up that spray painted by Amazon.com, the books and stuff like that, then you were there, like at the beginning. Then it's a different story. You're trying to get on now. You're 20. We're 2022, 22 and 6. You're 28 years too late. You're 28 years too late. 94. That's when you should have been there. And with a deal, like, hey, if this company gets big, I want to have like 1% of it, or half a percent or something. Now I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's how people make it. That's how they hit the machine. They were there from the beginning. Hold on. Sorry. You know, it's like Bitcoin, whatever like that. But the Bitcoin thing is irrelevant, and I'll tell you why. I told you about my buddy uh, John. I just call him John, whatever. And he had like this. I think it was around 2012. This is 10 years ago, maybe more, but around 10. Let's just say 10 years ago. And he knew about Doge. And he's like, he had a feeling. He had a feeling. He goes for $300. For $300, I could have a million Doge, coins. And this is when Bitcoin was like $100 or something. So he's like, I'll have a million Doge, and that's what he did. But back then, the wallets weren't secure. The companies was a crypto IO, whatever like that. They came and gone. They closed. They just met, and he got fucked. It's like and then the Elon Musk whatever tweeted about showed the dog thing, and then they went from like when my buddy John bought it was like you know uh, 8/1000th of a penny or something. It was so ridiculously low, and he would have had a million of them. He got a million of them at $300. So at its high, it was what 79 cents, $790,000. But it's all gone. Now I got robbed out of my crypto through Coinbase, and this is recently. This is 2 months ago. They're not refunding me. So beware, be fucking aware, because I'm telling you, they're trying to get everybody in this crypto thing. And basically, what happened was, I heard this. There was a major hack October the 12th in the Coinbase, and I was a victim of it. And they did not refund me. I've tried. They said they go, this is where we stand. Bottom line, we're not giving you anything back. Okay. So be fucking, anybody getting this crypto thing, and you better fucking, you could basically, get boxed out of your account. You could get shit stolen. There's nothing they can do really. That's what happened to me. I got locked out of my account. I couldn't get back in. They stole my shit, and then when I finally was able to get back in, all was all gone, and they wouldn't refund. They wouldn't help me. They go, this is our final decision. That was it. So if you think crypto is going to be it for you, you're going to learn the hard way more than likely. Because what you're doing is you're hearing about these people that they made their money when the shit first started. It's over. So you're already too late to it. And NFTs, virtual worlds and shit like that. That's all nonsense. That's all nonsense. They're gonna sucker you for this virtual land. You're gonna buy this virtual land, Minecraft, all this bullshit. It ain't going anywhere. It ain't gonna fucking go anywhere. It's a fad. It's a farce. It's just trying to get you in and get excited about the modern day gold rush. No, 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 no. It's virtual. It's not tangible. It's not a tangible asset. You know, it will not stand. A couple of years from now, that shit will all be worth nothing. And if you, or it will, like, I'm telling you, the life is going to drop out of all that shit. Bitcoin, now I'm not saying Bitcoin couldn't keep rising. My point is that you could get robbed real easily out of it, like I did. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Like you think, oh, let me put in 100,000 in the Bitcoin now, yeah, and then what happens? Your fucking account gets robbed out of it, and you don't get nothing back, and then Bitcoin price keeps going up. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your shit's not. It's not secured by the government. It's not FDIC insured. So if you get robbed like I did, then you're fucked. So that's worse than gambling. Like it's like you have, even if you have it and you watch it go up and you get robbed, what's the difference? You lose everything anyway. And that's what happened to me. Yep, that's what happened to me. I got robbed out of it. So I'm just telling you, like, you know, and the thing is, if you listen to everything that I'm telling you, so far I have not mentioned one thing of how to make money because I don't know. I'm telling you what I do know. I'm not telling you what I don't know. All these people, the intelligent investor, all this shit, Warren Buffett, all those fuckers, they all made their money years ago and they compounded it. He's nothing, like, yeah, it's not smart. He basically did it year after year and decade after decade. And in 2008, he got crushed. He lost like 55% of his total net worth when his shit dropped. You know, but like he snowballed it. That's all it is. It's not smart. People looking to him for magic and stuff like that, and there is no magic. He basically just snowballed it over an immense over. How old is that guy? 90 years old. So he started when he was 12. Bought his first stock, and he just kept buying and buying and buying, and over his lifetime snowballed and doing deals. It's nothing. I mean, it's like just the problem is parents don't help kids do that. They don't buy them a stock at 12. They buy them a fucking radio, whatever, earphones, Beats, shoes and stuff that fashion stuff. That's not investing. School doesn't teach you how to become rich. They teach you how to fit in to society. So that's what it is. And you might have a big dream, and I'm sorry. A lot of these people that hit it, they didn't even anticipate. You think Robert Downey Jr. wasn't in that movie fucking Weird Science? He was not an extra, but he was like he wasn't even he was a nemesis of the two guys, Wyatt and what's his name. They never made it in acting. Was it Anthony Michael Hall? Was it the other guy? I think he did a little something. The other guy, nothing. Robert Downey Jr., you kind of just hung in there with that. He didn't make nothing off of that. And then finally, maybe the Chaplin movie did or whatever it is. But, you know, one guy, one. He couldn't have anticipated, like getting a big break and stuff like that, but he did. He started when he was a kid. And there's no guarantees. You could start when you're a kid, and again, there's no guarantees. So, what's the, you have to understand the reality. And a lot of people, they just don't get that. They think they're special, and you're not. You're not. It's just. Sorry, it's cold. When I turned off the heat. It gets cold real fast when you turn off the heat. I keep thinking the heat's gonna circulate. It's I hope this explains why I feel the holidays are bullshit. That was my point about it all. Because it keeps people from being productive. It really bothers me when I think about it. How many people are broke, and have nothing. It's like how can people be so broke when I know, I mean, I have the answer, I'm just putting it out there, but how could people be so broke when the government prints up so much money and they say, boy, everybody's working and everything because there's something clogging the pipeline. The money is not flowing, that's why. When the money flows, people will spend. Money's not flowing. not greedy out there. It's these people that gotta have it all. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. See, I understand how this all works. Kind of explained it without. I explained it like from one perspective, but I'm about right. I'm very accurate in my assertion. Anyway, that's about all for now. We'll keep this logical discussion continuing, and Warrior Junior will keep the party going.